Hey there, just wanted to comment really quickly. I recently watched a video done by Cody Bobay. He's the starter of the ministry called SoulCon, and he's doing a lot of good work there with that and everything. But he made a comment in a recent video on his YouTube channel where he's talking about how Abraham was asked, or rather told, by God to sacrifice his son Isaac, who he'd waited for all those years. And how, and this is a story that many of us are familiar with, but the thing that struck me that Mr. Bobay pointed out was that when Abraham did that, he communicated to his son in a powerful way that he never would forget just how important it is to obey God and how important God was to Abraham. And I just had never thought about that, but from Isaac's perspective, like, holy cow, dude, I don't even rank before God, and it's so foreign to our culture. But it does remind me, it reminded me of when I was a kid, and I was reflecting back on it and how my father communicated that same truth to me and my brother and sister, and also how he communicated to me that even my mom was more important than me, which sounds harsh, okay, but really it was an important lesson for me as a boy that I've carried with me into adulthood, and it's important for me to have now as a husband and father myself. But so as I reflected on it and I was thinking about it with my mother, the way that lesson was communicated was I had been, and this was when I was very young, I had been disrespectful or disobedient or something, and I remember that my dad had come home, and he had a very firm conversation with me, explaining it. The way he said it was, "That is my wife, and I love her too much to let you disobey her like that." And just when he explained it like that, he said, "That is my wife," and identified her as his wife rather than my mother. That was when I was like, "Oh, whoa, this just got serious right here." So that right there changed my whole perspective on their relationship. And then as I reflected further, okay, so my dad showed me that that my mother is more important than me, okay, in his life, and that's the way it should be. I was just thinking, okay, so when did he communicate that God was more important? And I remember him sitting down and having a conversation with all three of us kids at the table one time, and just explaining, we were old enough that we had been learning about Revelation, the book of Revelation in the Bible, and how the Lord has already warned us about the terrible things that will happen during the end times and stuff. And my dad sat down and explained to us that, if there were to ever come a day when somebody would tell him that he needs to deny Jesus, or else one of us kids would die, he explained to us, he said, "I love you very much, but I love Jesus." And I would have to say, I love Jesus. And, like I said, in our culture that is so foreign and backwards, people would say, no, you have to prize your family first, and, my kids come before my spouse or before anything else. They're the most important thing in the world to me. But if that's the way that you live, then you've got it backwards, and you're not following the biblical model. And so I just want to encourage anybody who's not really thought about that. I know it's really serious and heavy. I don't usually go quite this heavy, but to think about that and evaluate your priorities, and have you communicated that to your kids? Because as a kid, I received both of those messages, and I understood that my father loved me immensely. He still does. And I understood that he would do whatever it took to take care of me and protect me and my family. But I also understood my place in the family whenever he said, "That's my wife." And I also understood our place in his life whenever he explained that he would have to be faithful to Jesus over us. And that's just very powerful life lessons that I still carry with me. So, and Father's Day coming up, so I appreciate that crucial lesson from my father, and I hope I'm able to communicate that to my sons as well as he did. So anyway, just wanted to share that.